My understanding and explanation. Cruelty, misunderstanding, fear, greatness of the innocence, connections, vulnerability, compassion. Why Monster 2023 is a great art. Perspective. Truth vs perception. Bullying and power dynamics. Family and dysfunction. Coming of age. Internal monsters. Transformation and healing. Tensions between societal image and individual reality. Visual and musical poetics. Fear, shame, and guilt can transform humans into the emotional monsters they fear. Monster. A Japanese 2023 film directed by Hirokazu Kurita. It's about two boys and the society around them. How adults can deeply impact a child's life and bonding through misunderstanding and their adult thinking. How they create an emotional turmoil in a child's life. This film isn't just about two boys having emotional bonds with each other. It's much more. It brings out the cruel reality. Who is the monster? Kaibutsu Derda? One might wonder who is the monster? We all were searching for the monster. And then, in the end, we realized that we are the monster. Not them. By we I meant for movie perspective, the viewers. As reality the society and the people in it. They act like they are protecting something. But they are not. They fear. They fear about themselves. And thus creates monsters. It was us. We were the real monster. We were the Kaibutsu. We act like we are protecting something. But in reality we are the monster they fear. We initially blamed every individual, but as the perspective changes so does our opinion. We start to blame someone else entirely. We judge too quickly and too easily. We didn't try to understand and know the story behind every situation. This movie isn't about romance. This movie doesn't portray romantic fantasies. They don't know it was love. They are young and innocent. Just two young souls who don't know who to be, what to want, because the society told them to be something else entirely. Kaibutsu Derda. Both Minato's single mother Sory and Yuri's emotionally and physically abusive father shapes the children's self-image and relationship. This film has four perspectives. It's a bit overwhelming and confusing for the first few minutes. But as perspective changes so does the story. The story gets told in a way that was astonishing. Sory. Minato's mother. Hori. Minato and Yuri's homeroom teacher. A little bit of principle. Finally Minato. In where we can truly understand everything. Now one might question, why isn't there any Yuri perspective? In my opinion, Yuri is the silenced voice. Yuri represents the voiceless in society. Those never truly heard. His silence becomes symbolic. He suffers quietly, he runs instead of fights, he never gets to explain himself. He is in such pain and agony that can't be visualized. Hoshikawa Yuri. The one no one talks about. He suffers the most. He loves the most. He gets hurt the most. He endures the most. He goes through so much at such a young age. He smiles despite the physical and mental pain. He embraces every insult and bears their weight. He is alone at home, in school, and in everywhere. He is a survivor of abuse. He faces so many traumas yet he never asks for help, he's learned not to expect it. Even with this level of trauma, he remains soft and kind to others. His feelings towards Minato carry tenderness, care, possibly romantic and confused longing. He is shaped by cruelty, but defined by quiet courage. He doesn't fight back. He waits for someone who see him not as a monster but as boy who wants to live, love and be understood. Some truths are quiet, some pain is invisible. Discussion. Now why did Minato suddenly jump out of the car? This scene is not that simple. There lies a deep emotional fight in here. A pure collision between adult life and innocence. A fight between own happiness and society. This scene also represents the first and most bold self-act by Minato. Where he went against his mother's commands and wishes to pursue his heart. A clear rebellion. I'll get to the details about this momentarily as the story advances. This scene represents Minato fighting his internal monsters. He's confused about his feelings. He keeps referring that his brain is switched with a pig brain. He's hiding his true feelings. And such questions from his mother. It was overwhelming for him. What answers could he possibly give to his mother in such condition? He couldn't tolerate anymore and burst out of sorrow and anger and said that he is a monster. He thinks he is the monster, the Kaibutsu. That's why he is strange. That's why everything around him is strange. This scene also represents another major thing. Truth versus perception. What is the truth and what seems to be true? Minato told a lie about Hori, his teacher. He told that Hori said Minato's brain is a pig brain. Also about his gym bag being thrown away, broken nose, ear being pulled by Hori, not allowed to eat lunch and so on with the story advances. But that was a lie. Minato lied to cover up the slip-up he made about his strangeness that he said to his mother. He got scared that she might ask Minato more questions about what he just said. Minato realized he can't answer honestly. 'Cause he's confused himself. He can't and don't want his mother to know about the truth. On the other hand, his mother doesn't know the truth. She only knows what Minato told her. And she acts upon this so-called truth. This is a pure collision between truth and perception. In here she believes she is protecting her son Minato. But actually she is the monster in here. She is now the monster in Minato's life. She believes she is acting to protect his son. But her actions of ignorance of the reality, making a bad and deep emotional impact on his son's life. For better understanding about the monstrousness of Minato's mother and the internal fight between Minato and his mother's wishes, we need to look into the car jumping scene from before. We will learn more about this as the story advances. What was going through your head watching this scene? I'm sure you were blaming and cursing the school teachers. As have I. The school board, or rather the few teachers' action we saw, I describe it as power dynamics. We will learn more about it as the story advances. Let us be confused and frustrated for now. This scene is a bit confusing. Why was Minato still bending down when his mother arrived from grocery store? What is the truth? What happened here? What was he erasing? These questions goes through everyone's mind. It becomes clearer with the story advance. Did your teacher say something again? Here comes the war between truth and perception again. What is truth and what seems to be true? These moments symbolize adult life crisis, misconception, and misunderstanding. How easy it is for adults to misread and to assume a situation without thinking for why and what it means. This scene is significant to understand what happens sometimes later. So remember that. Now we got introduced to Yuri Hoshikawa. We see this from Sayori's perspective. At first she found a lighter in Minato's gym bag and clearly Minato was hiding it. She found it just when Hori put some words into her head like if Minato's got a weapon at home or something like that and that Minato is bullying Hoshikawa. So she began to question. In order to learn the truth she went to Yuri's home and found the missing pair of Minato's shoe. She's confused. And later she saw the burn mark in Hoshikawa's arm and began to question him. Later we see that Yuri tells the school teachers that he was never bullied by Mujino and that Hori is always hitting Mujino Minato. Now, it's a bit confusing. What I think that the burn mark was either by his abusive father or from the hostess bar that he set fire to. But it isn't clear since there was no clear indication in the movie. I think Hoshikawa got overwhelmed and scared that Sayori might find out. So he told the lie about Hori. Not to attack Hori but to de-escalate the situation from advancing furthermore and to protect him and Minato's world. And of course to assure Sayori. Heard a noise. Something broke. Keep an open eye and ear. You will hear it again. That's the beauty of this movie. Perspective. Listen to these scenes carefully or you won't truly understand the power of perspective. There is so much happening simultaneously in this moment. It's amazing. We will find more about these scenes as the story advances. Minato thinks he saw his dad telling him thank you and that he loves him. But it was actually his self-conscious reassuring himself. He is going through so much emotional pressure and is confused. And everything around him seems like a burden and chaos. He sees his mother is worried about him. But is worried about the wrong reasons. But he can't correct her, can't say the truth. He believes he can't be happy, which is a direct collision with his mother's idea about being with him until he got a family of his own. So in a sense of apology he asked his mom to not be sorry for him. It's Minato fighting his internal monster. Now as we step into the phase of Hori's perspective. First thing we need to keep in mind is about this class. We can see that he is reading an essay that he wrote himself when he was in 5th grade. It was about whom you want to be with or get married with in the future or when you grow up. Or we can sum it up with 2 simple words. Our future. Why this class is important we will understand as the story advances. That's a cruel word to say to a child. It created trust issues. Whether to ask for help or walk away. We will understand why I said that in near future. Mr. Hori and Hoshikawa is looking for Yuri's missing slippers. In here Hori believes that Mujino is bullying Yuri. So when he noticed Mujino's bench he rushed to search for the shoes. But Yuri knows that Mujino will never do that. So he walked away from his teacher. This indicates a sense of trust and friendship between the two boys. From the duties and responsibilities of a teacher, Mr. Hori went to Hoshikawa's home, and stumbled upon his father. Who appears to be a drunk and melancholic. This scene is so brutal and devastating. In here we learn about Yuri's household might not be an ideal household as it seems. And we get a hint that his father is abusive. His father said that Yuri is a monster and he has got a pig brain. He plans to turn him back into human. But what does that mean? Why he thinks that Hoshikawa Yuri is a monster? In which sense he said that? There's no clear answer to that in the movie. We also find that the word pig brain is actually from Yuri's abusive and drunkard father. We can begin to understand that something wrong is going on with the boys. How family can affect a child's self-image. How it can ruin such precious minds. I call this chapter Family and Dysfunction. Why I said that? What happens to the boys because of such actions of ignorant drunk father's cruel words? How important it is to have an understanding and reliable family for the minds of the youngs to grow. We will understand as we advance through the story. Remember the sound? Here comes the beauty and power of perspective again. As we see through the eyes of Mr. Hori, it becomes much clearer about how things went. Mr. Hori didn't actually hit Minato or said that he has got a pig brain. In fact, he is actually a good caring teacher. He tried to do what's right. We can see that he has got a sense of responsibilities towards his students as a teacher. But here comes reality and the cruelty of the society. Tensions between societal image and individual reality. What actually happened doesn't matter. How cruel the words are. In order to protect the school and their societal image, the principal and other teachers completely overlooked what actually happened and didn't even bother to find the truth. They just wanted to protect their reputation. They made Mr. Hori take all the blame for the actions that wasn't true. By their action, not only Mr. Hori lost his job, but it affected the boys deeply too. But the school's action affected Mr. Hori most. Not only he lost his job, but his reputation is damaged too. We also see that because of the immense pressure from the outside world and in fear of public shame, his girlfriend leaves him too. A collision between societal image and individual reality. Hori didn't push Minato. He went to question Minato out of frustration and anger. But Minato accidentally fell down the stairs. It was actually a bad luck for Mr. Hori that he fell and the children made it that he pushed Minato. Another example of truth versus perception. Remember what I told you about perspectives of these scenes. Here comes the second fragment of it. We will get more of this in the future. I told you to remember this for better understanding for what's coming next. In here we can see that Mr. Hori realizes he was wrong. He now understands that Mujino wasn't bullying Hoshikawa. He was actually friends with him. They were good friends. And they were hiding it in front of others. Further details will be disclosed in the next part of this fragment as the story continues. This scene of water hitting the muddy window of the train car is truly visually stunning, emotionally beautiful, and quite heartbreaking. Why? I will explain as the story advances. Now we see through the eyes of Mujino Minato. We begin to learn that Minato and Yuri are indeed friends. Not just friends. They have a deep connection. Yuri is considered an alien and party pooper by the bullies. That is just a form of bully Hoshikawa Yuri. Minato doesn't want his class to know that he is friends to Yuri. He fears what others will think about him, that he too will be bullied or called upon names if they find out. In here we can see that there's a deep level of bond between the two boys. Hoshikawa thought he won't make any friends in his new school. Why did Hoshikawa say that? And we can see that Yuri is cautioning Minato about his disease. The pig brain disease his father said he has. Minato, doubtful, questions if he really has got a pig brain, indicates the effect Yuri's father's cruel words impact on both the boy's self-image. Later we see that when Yuri touched Minato's hair, Minato sort of freezed. Emotions storming through him. A loud bang. And they split up. Before leaving the music room, Minato warns Yuri that they are indeed friends. But not to talk with him in front of the class. For a split moment we saw that after these words being spoken, Yuri feels sad, he got hurt by Minato's word. Now when Minato told that and was leaving, a certain level of realization hit Minato of what he just said. He realized he said some hurting words. He turned back. He feels bad about Yuri. He wants to say no. I didn't mean that. But he freezes. He don't know his feeling very well. He don't know what he is feeling. He just stood there. Then Yuri breaks the silence by saying he won't talk in front of the class. Yuri said that out of sorrow. But he is used to such things. He is used to being bullied, facing harsh words and so on. Yes. Hoshikawa felt betrayed and sad by the words of his friend. But what else can he do? He can't do anything how people treat him. So he chooses to put aside the privilege of talking to his dear friend. After Yuri's confirmation of not talking, we see a face of relief in Minato's face. He is relieved because he wants to be friends with Hoshikawa Yuri but also don't want others to know. Why did Minato cut his hair? In the school music room, Yuri touched and played with his hair. In that moment Minato felt strange new feeling, new heartfelt moment. But he felt them from a boy. He is unsure and confused by his feelings. Cutting his hair is a collision between his feelings. It's a sign of self-punishment for feeling those sensations. He wants to discredit the feelings. He wants to withdraw from that moment. He is in emotional distress and turmoil about what to feel and what to accept. In this scene we learn about the personality of Hoshikawa Yuri. Despite being bullied he don't want to insult another girl. That shows the level of maturity of Hoshikawa Yuri. But because of that the bullies pack up again and start to bully him again. At the same time we see that Mujino is feeling angry towards the bullies. He wants to rage at them, he wants them to stop hurting Hoshikawa, he want to be there for him. But he can't. He couldn't do it. So he diverted the attention to himself, to save his dear friend Hoshikawa. This shows how he cares about his friend, at the same time how hard it is for him. He wants to be there for him, but he can't because of fear. He doesn't want others to know about his friend. This face. He is proud of his friend. He is happy for saving him. Lending one shoe was a way of apologizing to his friend for his behavior. And us viewers begin to understand the depth of their bond. It is pure. For me personally, while watching this scene, the piano music is so peaceful to me. Such subtle movements with this piano music calms my heart and soul. It brings a sense of joy to me, a kind of relief to my fantasy world. A world of happiness and pure joy. Primrose flower. It has its own meaning. It means youth and innocence. New beginnings. Love and devotion. I can't live without you. This introduction to the flower primrose, the love and excitement toward flowers of Yuri is genius. We will understand once the story advances. The beginning of transformation and healing. This train car is considered as their safe heaven. Away from all the questions, judgments, and horror. The place where only they belong. It's their escape from the society that hurts and haunts them. It's a refuge. The only place they can be together without judgment or interruption. It is the only place where they can be honest together. It become a secret world for them. They embrace this train car as their own home together. It's away from their school, parents, and societal pressure. In here the connection between the two boys grow. For me the old and abandoned train car symbolize another thing. It reminds me of how society treats those who don't fit in. They abandon them. I don't know if the director thought it of this way. It's just my understanding. In here we realize the depth of the character Yuri Hoshikawa. How he fights his fight, how matured he is, how much pain and sorrow he endures, how brutal can one be in desperation. Maybe a fire truck will come. Minato realizes that it was Yuri that set fire to the hostess bar because of his father. His father goes there, gets drunk, get ideas and possibly take it out on Yuri at home both mentally and physically. There were more indications that it was in fact Yuri that set fire to the hostess bar that night. Next morning after the incident, we learn that Yuri didn't sleep until after 2 a.m. And we also knew that Sayori heard those fire trucks even after 1 a.m. Maybe it's relevant, maybe it's not. Also in the opening scene we saw Yuri holding that torch outside the city area looking at the fire trucks as they pass. I think in that sense he told Minato that maybe fire truck will come to put out the fire if the fire spreads in the forest. There's one more scene that indicates the same thing. From the principal's perspective we also see that Yuri heading back with the lighter on him. So yes, I personally believe that Yuri Hoshikawa, despite his young age, set fire to that hostess bar. It's a bold and dramatic move. What had led a child his age to do such dangerous thing? What has society done to his mind that lead to such actions? Did he try to kill his father? I know that a big reach. But I can't get my mind off of it. Or maybe he just wanted his father to stop going to that place. To not get drunk and abuse him. After realizing the fact that Yuri might have set fire to the hostess bar, Minato felt a rush. His instinct to protect his dear friend kicked in. We can see that he aggressively took the lighter to him and began to question him to confirm his suspicions. He put out the fire and took the lighter in order to protect Yuri from others. He don't want people to know or notice that it was Yuri that set fire to the hostess bar. We understand another great element of their bond. A sense of protection. Minato asks Yuri to tell Hori sensei about him being bullied. But Yuri denies and tells that he will only say that he is not man enough. It gives a reality check. How adults' ignorant words can affect a child's innocent mind. How it can affect a child mentally. We can clearly see that he's afraid to ask for help, he fears he might get even more bullied even by his teacher. Again Yuri believes that he's got a pig brain, because of his father. This is also a cruel reality. His father shaped Yuri self-conscious to believe that he is sick and not normal. That he is a monster. His father also made him believe that his mother is gone because of him. When he is cured his mother will come back. When you really think about it, it really makes you sad to put so much on a young child. It's not fair. Innocence lose to adult crisis. Big crunch. That's a big word. I will explain my thoughts about it later. But in these scenes we get to know about the obsessions about the universe the boys have. They believe when the big crunch happens they will be reborn. So they want to get ready for that moment. Now why do they want to reborn? They want to be reborn where they can be happy. Where people will know that they will be happy. Where there won't be any emotional fights and turmoil. Where they won't have to hide from people. They want to be free from this cruel world and be the yellow birds in white sky. They want to fly. Later we see that they began to arrange the train car in a space theme waiting for the big crunch to happen and being reborn to their own world. To build their own happiness. To build a home. This scene is heartbreaking for some reasons. In here we get to know how Minato sees Yuri's situation. He thinks Yuri doesn't fight back and does not step up to defend himself. And Yuri just smiles. He smiles in a way, my heart gets destroyed watching his smile. It's so familiar. He just smiles, doesn't say anything to reply to what Minato just said. So it shows that both Minato and Yuri believes that's true. Now, here comes one of the biggest turning point of this film. To understand the scene and the story fully, we need to look back into the movie. Here are some references. So now, it begins with the class of Horimichi Toshi, where he was reading aloud his essay about whom you want to be with when you grow up or whom you want to marry in future. Later he gave homework to write an essay on their own thoughts about whom they want to be with in the future, referring as our future. So now let's come to the scene where Minato was bending down for a long time for his eraser. He was doing his our future homework. He did write Hoshikawa's name in the essay. He wants to be with him in the future. But he was still in denial, he was not sure about his feelings, he was not sure whether to keep Yuri a secret or to bring him out loud. As he tried to pick up the eraser, those kinds of thoughts began to flow in his mind. Whether to keep Yuri close or push him in a corner of his heart. But at that moment his mom intervened. He rushed to erase Hoshikawa's name so that his mom can't see it, so that his mom can't discover his friend's name. Now in the train car, we see them doing and talking about the same homework, indicating the scene is a little bit before the Mujino scene of erasing Hoshikawa's name. We can see that Yuri Hoshikawa wrote his name and Minato's name on his homework. But he wrote it backwards in order to not get discovered by their teacher. He tried to hide their name in the homework. This scene also proves how much they want to be with each other, how much they care about each other. In that scene of Hori, he accidentally spilled water on some paper. He began to clean the water and noticed the faults of handwriting in the top paper. So his subconscious teacher mind looked at the name and it was Hoshikawa. So he took the paper and began to correct the mistakes. The mistake were that some letters were inverted. We saw that before with Sayori and Yuri scene. Hori begins to correct the inverted words and saw that it was actually the names of the two boys. Since the topic of that homework was whom they want to be with in the future, Mr. Hori realizes his mistake. He realizes that the two boys were actually friends with each other. Mujino wasn't bullying Hoshikawa. Rather they were protecting each other. They wanted to be with each other even in the future. That's why Hori was shouting he was wrong and sorry in front of Minato's house. Now these scenes, they are mind-blowing. This scene isn't about lust. It's a moment of emotional honesty. It's about connection, vulnerability, and compassion. In here after Minato accidentally pushed Yuri, he tends to his ankle. And Yuri says that he has to change school. They won't see each other again. So Minato don't have to worry about getting awkward in school because of him. Yuri's words frightened Minato. He got scared he might not be or see him again. Out of fear and desperation he leaned on Yuri and got way too close. Yuri felt overwhelmed by this and hugged Minato tightly. He wrapped his arms around him, indicating he doesn't want to let Minato go out of his life. This warm hug was not anticipated by Minato. He froze in that moment. The hug was not something he expected. He felt a new feeling in his body. He got scared. He pushed Yuri away feeling scared and not understanding his own feelings. Now why he pushed Yuri away? And why Yuri said that it's okay, it happens to him sometimes. What happens to him? If you look closely right before Minato pushed Yuri away, Minato looks down. This scene indicates that because of the sudden heartfelt hug from the person he believes he loves or hold dear to, a new sensation, a new kind of feeling occurred to him. He got aroused. That's why he was looking down. He never felt that. So he got scared and pushed Yuri away. Now noticing this, Yuri doesn't embarrass Minato. Rather he assures Minato that it's okay. It happens to him sometimes too. This little sentence shows a heartfelt moment between their bonds. Overwhelming by the situation and wanting to be with Minato, Yuri proceeds to hug Minato again. But Minato is scared and confused by this. He is unsure what to do. In the heat of the moment he pushed Yuri. Then he looked back at Yuri and ran away. He got scared of his own feelings. The scene ends here. But what do you think Yuri was feeling at this moment after Minato ran away? We didn't get any Yuri's perspective in the film. How broken and sad he must have felt. How hurt he must have been. Later we see that in an art class Minato is getting bullied again. Instead of being angry or reacting, Yuri begins to clean his desk. This made the bullies angry and they started to annoy him even more. At some point the towel goes to Minato. He gives it back to Yuri. This action brings out what he feared. That the class would bully him too if they find out about him and Yuri being friends. They began to chant names and other languages at Mujino. In that time, if you notice the body language of the two boys, you see how hard it is for them. How much in mental pressure and pain they are in. Minato can't take it anymore. He bursts out of his chair and tries to get the towel back from Yuri, which leads to a little wrestling among them. We also find that's how Minato's ear got hurt, not by Hori as her mother thought. What you see in their faces, it's pure agony. When you think about them, your heart starts to ache. You feel numb. Your eyes tear up. So much pain and agony in such young hearts. It's really heartbreaking. After the two incidents, Yuri is withdrawn. The film actually doesn't show some things, but there was more in the novel. After the fight in art class, Yuri was heartbroken. He skipped school, even if he came he left early. And such like that. Minato begins to worry. He thinks Yuri is mad at him for his actions. He thinks to himself, is he avoiding me because I pushed him? Did I hurt him too much? So one evening he goes to Yuri's house. His dad answers and told him that Yuri is having a shower and lets Minato in the house. Minato walks in and sees Yuri sitting in the tub, silent, arms wrapped around himself. Yuri doesn't react. Minato gently pulls him up, wrapping a towel around him. Yuri finally speaks, asking Minato if he is mad about the pig brain thing. Minato apologizes and reassures him. This isn't sexual. It's an act of intimate care and concern. This details gives a face-to-face moment not shown in the film and deepen their bond. This scene was filmed, but ultimately they didn't include this in the movie. But it is in the novel. Now in the movie, after art class, we see that Minato is waiting for Yuri in the train car. But he doesn't show up. So he sent messages to Yuri. The messages are: Minato, why haven't you been coming to school? Are you mad I pushed you? Do you hate me now? Yuri: no, I'm just scared he'll want to touch you again. Minato: it's okay. You can touch me as much as you want. Yuri: then I'm coming. In here, touching isn't meaning something sexual. It means like hugging or touching hair or something like that. This moment provides emotional clarity before their reunion in the tunnel scene, that we will learn in the future as the story advances. In here we can see that after confirming Yuri is coming, Minato holds a flower. It's a primrose flower. Remember what they meant? It means youth and innocence. New beginnings. Love and devotion. I can't live without you. So Minato holding a primrose flower for Yuri symbolizes transformation of their emotional feelings. They accepted each other. They are not going to hurt each other anymore. It's a fragile gesture of love. Quite uncertain and pure. The flower becomes a silent message. Now as we observe the environment around this scene, we can see some things. Minato is waiting in a tunnel. The tunnel is dark and uncertain. It's just like the society and environment around them. Chaotic and cruel. In here Minato is holding a primrose flower. For me it symbolizes a beautiful thing in an ugly world. A rebellion against society. A rebellion against the world. This scene represents the poetic capabilities of this movie. But tragic hits again. Before they could meet, Minato's mother finds him first. Dismisses the chance of their heartfelt reunion. We see Yuri did came but was too late. He turned around and lost into the oblivion. A tragedy. Now we come back to the car jumping scene. What happened there? Why did Minato suddenly jump out of the car? After Sory found Minato in the tunnel, she is bringing her back to home. We see Minato apologizing to his mother, saying he can't be like his dad. What does it mean? Minato now believes and understands his feeling. He knows that he loves Yuri and wants to be with him for the rest of his life. Unlike his dad. We also see that Sory is telling Minato that she promised Minato's dad that she will be with him until Minato gets married and gets a family of his own. But Minato can't be what his mom wants him to be. And at the same time we see Yuri calling Minato. Why was Minato calling? Yuri comes to the tunnel only to find that Sory found Minato first. So he turned away. Yuri calling Minato is a quiet plea. Do you still want me? I still need you. Now from Minato's POV. His mother is telling him about starting his own family. And on the other hand Yuri is calling. In his mind Yuri is still out there alone waiting for him in the dark. He wants to answer the call but he can't because of his mom. What will he do? What can he do? He doesn't think anything more. He senses a strong need for Yuri. He's out there all alone. He needs to go find him, tell him that he's with him. He won't let go of him. It's an anxious, guilt-driven, emotional reaction. Minato realizes that he may have abandoned the one person who needed him the most. But there sits his mother beside him, talking about his family. He doesn't know what to do. He opens the door and jumps. A rebellion. A rebellion against his mother's wishes and his heart. He acted on his heart. The only time he challenged his mother's wishes and command to be with Yuri no matter what. This shows us the boys' emotional lives, Minato's fear, confusion and deep care for Yuri. And the call also resembles Yuri's affectionate, quiet courage. They chose each other over this chaotic society around them. The car resembled the society. Jumping out of it to be with Yuri proves that they rejected the society to be with each other. It's a beautiful, heartfelt yet painful and agonizing gesture of love. In later scene we see that Minato rushed to Yuri's home to ask him something. But we never got to know what it was. Maybe he wanted to say that they should run away from here. Maybe not. We will never know. But as Yuri comes out, so does his father. Yuri says that he is now cured and normal. In response, Minato says that he was always normal, indicating how he cared and accepts Yuri. Yuri adds that he's going to a different school and Minato doesn't have to worry about him anymore. His father adds that Yuri likes a girl near his grandmother's house, which Yuri admits initially. And his father practically forced Yuri inside and slammed the door to Minato's face. Minato, confused of what just happened, and in disbelief, began to leave. But the door opened and Yuri came out bursting and said that he is sorry. It was a lot. Meaning that he doesn't want to go. He doesn't like that girl. He wants to be with Minato. A rebellion against his abusive father and a step towards his happiness and heart. Then his father came running and grabs Yuri and locks the door. And starts to punish Yuri. This scene indicates two more things. How Yuri wants to be with Minato despite his father's fear. We find that Yuri's father is truly abusing Yuri both physically and mentally. Minato admits his fear verbally here. He likes someone. But he can't tell anyone. Because they'll know he can never be happy. That's the third fragment of this movie's perspective. We find that's where the music was coming from. They are both crying in the scene. They are both admitting about their lies. They are both fighting their internal monsters here. What we thought about the principle, it's got a story too. Every story has got another side to it. Kaibutsu Derda. Who is the monster? Now here's what breaks my heart. The big crunch is coming. And we also see the brutality of Yuri's father. Now about Big Crunch. We know that a typhoon is coming. It's raining heavily. In Minato's underdeveloped mind, he thought about their conversation of universe and about being reborn. So the Big Crunch is a chance for them to be reborn and be in a world where they can be happy together, away from all the societal monsters. Later we see they rush to the train car. Their safe heaven, their home, their place to be. Their place to reborn into a better world. It's okay. You can touch me as much as you want. That's what it meant. And they are accepting each other's embrace and touch. In that moment they realize that the big crunch is indeed happening and their chance to be reborn is finally here. So they rush to the driver's seat. In here it symbolized as the cockpit of their ship. They made it their home and a ship that would carry them to another world after being reborn. For me, that muddy scene from earlier represents the universe. Symbolizes the universe that they always talked about. It's a gesture. It's a stunning detail. Now we advance towards the ending. We see that the adults are still in agony and pain. The environment is dark. Symbolizing adult crisis is still going on. They are still fighting their monster. On the other hand, we see the boys emerging underneath the train car into a sunny, beautiful weather. Now what does that mean? This movie has metaphorical phases everywhere. So the sunny weather possibly means they are now accepted to each other. They are now free. It's a celebration of life itself. Life won. Monsters lost. Notice the gate in the railroad isn't there anymore? They are finally free. Their blocked road is finally free. They now can be happy. It's a true celebration of life. But, as much as I want to believe that this is a happy ending, that this is indeed a celebration of life, I can't. There are so many things to notice. So many. When Sayori and Hori found the train car, it was still raining. They opened the window and screamed and searched for the boys. But nobody responded. But when we saw the boys coming out of the drain, it was sunny. It doesn't match the environment of the two scenes. As a metaphorical film, the rainy weather with the adults could mean that they are still in the agony and stuff. And the sunny and flashy environment with the boys could mean that they are out of pain and are free. But if it isn't, it could mean that their desperate attempt to be reborn has failed. That this is the afterlife. That they have indeed died in that train car. The flashy and sunny weather symbolizes as the afterlife where they could finally be true, free, and happy together. The blown away gate also indicates that this is actually the afterlife. That there are no obstacle ahead of them now to be with each other and to be free. Their laughter and untouched nature could mean that they are free from pain now. Running into the open field could symbolize their final escape from the world that failed them. When I think about this, it breaks my heart in million pieces. Tears begin to flow. After everything they have been through, after all that time. They couldn't be together when they were alive. They chose death over separation. They wanted to be reborn in a place where no one could hurt them. But they failed. It brings tears in my eyes every time I think about it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they didn't die in the end. I hope that they were hiding when Sayori and Hori was there, fearing they might miss their chance to be together again. And after the rain stops, they escape from the car. I hope that every scene was indeed metaphorical and they are alive, happy, and together. I hope it meant that, as time passes and the storm clears, the world opens anew. I hope the boys' emergence in bright daylight symbolizes emotional reborn they talks about, not the afterlife. I hope the absence of adults in the final scene hints at their unity and acceptance, not their death. I hope that they not simply just survived, but that they become emotionally true to who they are. That the ending truly means that they are transformed and healed. This movie is a devastating yet heartfelt. This movie isn't about same-gender love. It's not just a conflict over bullying. It's about love, longing, the struggle to express feelings. It's about conception, misjudgment, the quiet courage of love. It's about fear, blame, the damage adults can do with just their ignorance and assumptions. It's a film about two boys, each broken by the society, who find each other. Their love carries out the quiet weight of first love. Confusing, terrifying, and tender. Minato and Yuri are constantly trying to escape from everything. They are trying to escape from bullying, neglect, the fear of labeled monster. Kaibutsu Derda? Who is the monster? Minato and Yuri are the victims here. Victims of this cruel world. They are complex, emotional human beings trying to understand themselves and each other. Their bond is intimate, quiet and filled with hope and love. They fear the world misunderstands them and will label them as monster. Kaibutsu Derda? Who is the monster? We are the monster. Not them. We adults, viewers, and society are the monsters. We are the kaibutsu they fear to become. We are the real monsters of this society. Only after dying can we actually be with the people we love. Honorable edits. Hope for a world where they are together and happy. The end. The end.